You are seeing this video because you are entering your biggest comeback. This is not a prediction or a hope. It is a quantum event you have already set in motion, a phenomenon governed by the immutable laws of energy compression and expansion, the same physics that forces a dying star to become a supernova. You have crossed an event horizon, and there is no going back. In the next 50 minutes, I will prove to you that your period of hardship, the relentless pressure you have endured, was a necessary charging phase, and I will give you the tools to consciously navigate the massive, inevitable expansion that is now beginning for you. We will not be talking about mindsets or affirmations alone. We will be exploring the physics of potential energy. We will unpack the science of energetic density. These are not metaphors. These are the mechanics of reality, the blueprints of the cosmos, and they prove, beyond any doubt, that profound struggle is the non-negotiable precursor to a quantum leap. This is not philosophy. This is physics. If the last few months or even years have felt like an impossible test you just couldn't pass, if you felt isolated, misunderstood, or even broken by the weight of it all, if you have been pushed to your absolute limit to a point where you feared you might shatter completely, then you need to hear this with every cell in your body. The universe wasn't testing you. It was preparing you. That feeling of being crushed was not a punishment. It was a process. A physical process of energetic compression required for the next stage of your life. Every moment of pain, every setback, every tear shed in the dark was adding to your energetic density, packing more and more potential power into the core of your being. You have been accumulating a spiritual and energetic mass that the universe, by its own laws, must now answer. If the idea that your struggle has a profound physical purpose resonates deep in your soul, hit the like button now. It's a signal to yourself and the universe that you are ready to claim this comeback. To understand what is happening to you, we must look to the stars. Imagine a massive star, one that has burned brightly for millions of years. As its fuel runs out, its own immense gravity begins to pull it inward. It collapses in on itself, becoming smaller, denser, and hotter. From the outside, it looks like death. It looks like an ending. Everything that once was, the light, the size, the power, is being crushed into an infinitesimally small point. This is what has been happening in your life. Your world has been collapsing inward. Relationships, careers, identities, beliefs, all pulled toward a central point of unbearable pressure. It has felt heavy. It has felt dark. It has felt like destruction, like a great and terrible failure. You have been carrying a weight that felt cosmically unfair, a density that seemed impossible to bear. But this collapse is not the end of the story. It is the engine of the story, because at the moment of maximum density, something extraordinary happens. The core becomes so compressed, so unimaginably hot, that a new reaction is triggered. A violent, unstoppable ignition. The collapse reverses in a fraction of a second, and the star explodes outward in an event so powerful, it outshines entire galaxies. A supernova, an explosion of light, energy, and creation, sending new elements across the universe to form new stars and new worlds. This is the quantum comeback arc. What you perceived as your breaking point was, in fact, your ignition point. The immense pressure was the necessary condition for your own supernova. You weren't falling apart. You were gathering the fuel for an explosion of light that will redefine your entire existence. By the end of this video, you will no longer see your past as a story of suffering. You will see it as the origin story of your greatest self. To truly understand the physics of your comeback, we must first go deeper into the metaphor of the star. We must understand the mechanics of its collapse, because the force you have been fighting is the very same force that is about to make you brilliant. In physics, there are two fundamental states of energy: kinetic and potential. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. It is action, doing, creating. It's the energy we are all taught to worship. The hustle, the grind, the constant forward movement. Potential energy is different. It is stored energy. It is the energy of position, of condition, of immense tension held in perfect stillness. Imagine pulling back the string of a bow. The further you pull it, the more you struggle against the tension, the more potential energy you are storing in the wood and the string. The arrow has not yet moved, but the power for its flight is already present. Your period of hardship was a masterclass in accumulating. potential energy. Every challenge you faced, every moment you endured, every tear you shed when you thought you couldn't go on, that wasn't failure. That was you pulling the bowstring back further. Each setback wasn't a loss. It was the universe adding more mass to your collapsing star, packing more energetic density into your spiritual core. You felt heavy because you were becoming powerful. You felt pressure because you were storing light. The world saw stillness, perhaps even regression, but the cosmos saw a battery charging to an unprecedented level. This entire process has a name. It is a predictable, three-part cycle governed by the laws of energy. I call it the quantum comeback arc. The first phase is compression. This is the longest and most difficult phase. It is the gravitational collapse. It's the period where everything feels like it's shrinking, getting heavier, more difficult. It is the time of intense pressure, where you feel unseen, unheard, and tested beyond your limits. This is the phase you have just completed. The second phase is ignition. This is the moment of revelation. It's the brief, silent, instantaneous point where the accumulated pressure and density reach a critical threshold. The potential energy, having reached its absolute maximum, has no choice but to convert. This is the moment a star begins fusion. This is the moment you are in right now. The third phase is expansion. This is the supernova. It is the inevitable release of all that stored energy, not as struggle but as light, as creativity, as influence, as effortless manifestation. It is the comeback, an expansion that is, by law, equal in magnitude to the compression that preceded it. Now let's address the ghost in the room, the frustration, the feeling that you did everything right, but nothing worked. You tried thinking positive. You tried affirmations. You tried working harder, pushing against the gravitational pull of your circumstances. And it felt like wrestling with a giant. It failed because you were trying to skip a step in the laws of physics. You cannot force a star to ignite before it has gathered enough mass. You cannot force a bow to fire an arrow with incredible power before the string has been drawn back. During the compression phase, your only job was to endure. Your only task was to allow the universe to store its power within you. Trying to be positive or force a breakthrough was like a star trying to shine while it was still a cloud of dust and gas. The conditions were not yet right. Your resistance to the pressure was the source of your greatest pain. You were fighting the very process that was fueling you. So, what is a quantum shift on a personal level? It's the moment the stored potential energy from your past converts into kinetic creative power. It is the precise moment you stop fighting the compression and realize it was never your enemy. Where in your life have you felt that immense, almost unbearable pressure building? Recognize that specific feeling. It's not a sign of failure. It's the location of your stored potential energy. The new paradigm, the secret to navigating this ignition, is to change your relationship with that pressure entirely. The goal is not to escape the gravity. The goal is not to overcome the collapse. The goal is to understand that the pressure is the power. The weight is the fuel. The darkness was the womb for the light. When you reach this understanding, a fundamental shift occurs. You stop fighting. You stop pushing back. You allow the collapse to complete its purpose, to bring you to that single, infinitely dense point of ignition. You stop fighting the gravity, and you become the light. And this is where the fundamental error in our understanding of personal growth is revealed. We have been taught that the goal is to escape the pressure, to solve the problem, to end the struggle, to find a way out of the darkness. We believe that happiness and success lie on the other side of the hardship, and so we fight, we push, we strain against the immense gravitational force pulling our lives inward, believing it is an enemy to be defeated. But the revelation is this: the pressure was the entire point. The universe was not testing you. It was not punishing you. It was not trying to break you. It was trying to make you. It was applying the precise, necessary, and relentless force required to create a singularity within your being, a point of such infinite density and energetic potential that it could do only one thing: ignite. The entire period of your suffering was not a trial to be survived. It was a cosmic forge. The relentless pressure, the feeling of being crushed, the isolation, that was the physics of creation at work. The universe was not trying to extinguish your light. It was gathering all of your life, all of your pain, all of your hope, and compressing it into a single point so dense that it had no choice but to become a star. This truth changes everything. It means your pain was not random. It had a purpose, a profound, physical, energetic purpose. It means every moment you thought you were failing, you were actually accumulating power. Every tear, every dark night of the soul, every instance you hit rock bottom was simply another layer of energetic material being added to your core, increasing your spiritual mass. Your rock bottom wasn't a pit, it was a launch pad. This means you, the one who has endured the most, now possess more stored power than anyone who has had an easy life. An easy life creates no pressure, no friction. It does not create the conditions for fusion. A life of comfort and ease may be pleasant, but it never builds the critical mass required for a supernova. Your struggle has given you an energetic inheritance that others can only dream of. The depth of your past suffering is the direct measure of the height of your coming expansion. Your greatest wound has now become the very source of your unstoppable light. And with this understanding, the entire approach to your life shifts. The work is no longer about struggle. It is no longer about building something new from scratch, climbing your way out of a hole you think you're in. The work is done. The fuel has been gathered. The energy has been stored. Your only job now is to allow the expansion. It is a release, not a reconstruction. It is an unfolding, not a fight. You must stop pushing against the past and instead turn to face the energy it created within you. You are not trying to create momentum. You are trying to get out of the way of the momentum that has already been building for years. The process of ignition is not a choice you make, but a physical law you finally surrender to. You stop fighting the collapse, and in doing so, you become the ignition. This is how to know you are going. Through a personal transformation. The story of your past flips from a liability into your single greatest asset. The narrative of your hardship ceases to be a record of your damage and becomes the origin story of your power. You are no longer defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you became because of it. What if the moment you felt most broken was actually the precise moment your internal universe reached critical mass, preparing for its own big bang? Let that truth recalibrate your entire past. You did not merely survive the collapse. That is the language of a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a survivor. You are a supernova in human form, fueled by everything you endured, and you are just beginning to expand. This comeback isn't a future event you're hoping for. The expansion has already begun. The ignition has happened. And just like the supernova we've been exploring, your personal ignition is emitting a unique and unmistakable light signature. The universe is reading it, and so can you, once you know what to look for. But here is the critical distinction. These signs are profoundly counterintuitive. They do not look like success. They do not feel like winning. In fact, you have likely been misinterpreting them as evidence that you are failing, that you are going backward, that things are getting worse. Today, that misinterpretation ends. We are going to recalibrate your perception. I am going to give you the 3 primary signs that make up the light signature of your quantum comeback, so you can move from intellectually understanding this process to having absolute personal conviction that it is happening to you right now. The first sign is the great shedding. This is often the most painful and confusing phase of the initial expansion. It manifests as the sudden, inexplicable, and often unwanted loss of the core components of your old reality. A job you thought was secure vanishes overnight. A relationship that defined you for years dissolves with a shocking finality. A business you poured your soul into suddenly becomes unsustainable. Friendships that were once your bedrock simply fade away, the connection gone as if it were a dream. On the surface, this is devastation. It feels like the universe is taking a wrecking ball to the foundations of your life. It feels like punishment. It feels like you are losing everything. But from a quantum perspective, something else is happening entirely. You are not losing things. Your new gravitational field is repelling them. During the compression phase, as you became energetically denser, your gravitational pull increased, holding all of these people, situations, and identities in a tight orbit around you. But at the moment of ignition, your fundamental frequency changed. You went from being a dense, heavy point of potential energy to a radiant, expansive wave of kinetic energy. Your very nature has changed. And by the laws of physics, anything not in harmonic resonance with your new higher frequency cannot remain in your orbit. It is not personal. It is physics. The job that required you to be small, the relationship that fed on your struggle, the identity that kept you trapped in a story of hardship, these things are energetically incompatible with the light you now emit. So they are shed. They are pushed away by the sheer force of your new radiance. It feels like destruction, but it is a clearing. The universe is not taking from you. It is making space. It is creating the necessary emptiness for a reality that matches your new signature to rush in. This shedding is the most powerful proof that you have leveled up. The second sign, which often follows the first, is the void of silence. After the chaos of the great shedding, after the painful goodbyes and the crumbling of old structures, you expect something. Relief, maybe. A new beginning. Instead, what you often get is silence. An unnerving, profound quiet. The phone stops ringing. The drama subsides. The constant stream of problems that demanded your attention dries up. You may find yourself with vast, empty stretches of time, a feeling of boredom or even a sense of aimless drifting. Your mind, conditioned by the intense pressure of the compression phase, interprets this silence as failure. It tells you, see, no one is calling. Nothing is happening. You've been abandoned. You're stuck. It can even feel like a form of depression, a numb emptiness where the fire used to be. This is the most subtle and powerful deception. This is not the silence of abandonment. It is the sacred pause between the final moment of collapse and the first wave of expansion. It is the eye of the storm. Think of a supercomputer that has just performed an impossibly complex calculation that pushed it to the brink of overheating. Before it can begin its next, even grander operation, it must enter a cool-down phase. It must reboot. It shuts down all non-essential programs. It goes quiet. The silence isn't a sign the computer is broken. It's the sign it is integrating the last process and preparing for the next. That is you. The void of silence is your energetic system rebooting. It is the universe giving you a moment of perfect stillness to recalibrate to your new frequency before the new reality begins to populate your experience. Do not fear this quiet. Do not try to fill it with old noise or desperate action. Rest in it. It is the fertile ground from which everything new will grow. It is the ultimate sign of respect from the universe, acknowledging the magnitude of the shift you have just undergone. And then comes the third sign, the one that confirms the reboot is complete and the new system is online. This sign is the synchronic echo. After the shedding and the silence, the universe begins to talk back to you, not with grand, booming declarations, but with quiet, persistent echoes of your new frequency. You start noticing number sequences, 1111, 444, 777, not because you're looking for them, but because they seem to jump out at you from clocks, license plates, and receipts. You'll think of a person you haven't spoken to in a decade, and they will text you an hour later. You'll hear a specific, unusual phrase in a podcast, and then hear it again from a stranger in a coffee shop the same day. And you will find a video like this one, speaking the exact language of your soul at the precise moment you needed to hear it. Here is the paradigm shift. You are not receiving signs from an outside source. You have become a broadcaster, and reality is simply echoing your signal back to you. Your new light signature, your new frequency, is now so clear and coherent that it begins to organize the quantum field around it. It creates patterns. The universe isn't sending you messages to guide you. It is sending you confirmations of who you have become. Each synchronicity is a mirror, reflecting your own internal alignment. It is a physical data point proving that your inner shift has registered on the fabric of reality. You are no longer seeking. You are creating echoes. The shedding, the silence, the echoes. Look back. See the pattern. This is not a random series of unfortunate events followed by some lucky coincidences. This is a precise, predictable, physical process. It is the light signature of your quantum comeback arc, written in the language of your lived experience. In the comments, share which of these three signs you have been experiencing: the great shedding, the void of silence, or the synchronic echo. Reading each other's experiences is powerful. It proves this is a collective shift, not an isolated event. It transforms your personal conviction into a shared certainty. I want to witness your validation. You understand this intellectually. You see the evidence in your life. The logic is sound, the physics undeniable. But understanding is not the same as knowing. Seeing is not the same as being. Now we move beyond the map and into the territory. Now we stop watching the star and we become the supernova. Let's feel it. Let's embody the ignition. If it feels safe for you to do so, I invite you to gently close your eyes. If not, simply soften your gaze and allow your awareness to turn inward. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the need to understand anything more. Release the need to analyze or judge. Simply be here, in this moment. Now bring your attention to the very center of your being, to your core, deep behind your navel, in the center of your torso. And I want you to call forth the feeling of all the pressure you have endured, all the hardship, all the pain and struggle of your past. But do not call it forth as memory. Do not replay the stories. That is not what we are doing here. Instead, I want you to feel the raw, energetic signature of it. Feel it as a physical sensation. Feel all of that time, all of that effort, all of that resilience, gathering at your core into a single, dense, powerful point of energy. Like a collapsed star, a singularity. Feel its weight, acknowledge its mass. This is the sum total of every moment you thought you couldn't go on, but you did. Every tear you cried, every fear you faced. It is not a wound. It is concentrated power. It is potential energy stored in the fabric of your soul. For a moment, just be with it. Don't push it away. Don't try to fix it. Simply acknowledge the immense density you have been carrying. Acknowledge the incredible strength it took to contain this much gravity. This is the source of your fuel. Now we will introduce the spark. Instead of resisting this dense, heavy ball of energy, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to pour your loving awareness directly into it. Imagine your focus, your pure attention, is a stream of liquid light, and you are pouring it into the heart of this singularity. Meet this pressure with acceptance. Meet this weight with gratitude, because this density is not your enemy. It was the entire point. It was the necessary condition for what comes next. So you pour your awareness into it. You wrap it in your presence. You stop fighting it. You stop running from it. You look right at the heart of all that you endured, and you let your conscious focus be the final catalyst, the final element needed for fusion. Feel what begins to happen as your loving attention touches this point of infinite density. There is a shift, a flicker, a warmth that begins to build from the inside out. And then, ignition. It is not a violent explosion. It is a silent, profound, internal blossoming of light. Feel that dense, heavy energy instantly convert. Feel it transmute from pressure into radiance, from gravity into light. This is not something you have to force. It is the law of the universe. The expansion is the equal and opposite reaction to the compression you endured. And now you simply allow it. Feel this brilliant, warm, expansive light flooding out from your core, flowing effortlessly through every cell of your body, filling your torso, pouring down your legs and into your feet, grounding you to the earth, flowing up through your chest, your shoulders, down your arms and into your hands, rising up, your neck and into your head, illuminating every thought with this new radiance. Feel it pass through the boundaries of your skin. You are no longer containing energy. You are radiating it. You are not the body experiencing the light. You are the light experiencing the body. Rest here for a moment. In this feeling of effortless expansion, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be. Just shine. This radiance is your truth. This expansion is your birthright, paid for by your past. This is the feeling of your comeback. Now very gently begin to bring your awareness back. Feel the contact of your body with the surface beneath you. Hear the subtle sounds in your environment. Take another slow, deep breath. And when you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Come back to this moment, but not as the person you were 5 minutes ago. You are different now. The energy has been converted. The ignition has occurred. As you come back to this moment, what one word defines the feeling of your comeback energy? Your light, your expansion. Find that word. It could be freedom. It could be peace. It could be power. Hold that word. This is your anchor to this new state of being. This feeling is now your compass. You are no longer in compression. You are in expansion. Let that land. This is not a goal to achieve. It is a physical state you now inhabit. The rules of your old reality, the ones based on struggle, effort, and seeking, no longer apply. You are now a source, not a seeker, an emitter, not a collector. This is how you operate now. It is your new physics. But living in a new reality requires a new set of operating instructions. The past will echo. The old world will test your new frequency. Here is how you remain in the state of effortless expansion. Here is how you become a conscious radiator. The first tool is for the ghosts of your past, the memories of hardship, the moments of pain, the stories of struggle that will inevitably arise not to haunt you but to test your mastery. The old you would fight them, suppress them, or worse, relive them. The new you will alchemize them. We call this the 0-point acknowledgement. It is simple, profound, and it reclaims energy with surgical precision. When a memory of a past struggle enters your mind, when you feel the familiar pang of an old wound, you do not push it away. You do not analyze it. You simply look at it, and you say, internally or out loud, "Thank you for the fuel." That's it. Thank you for the fuel. In that single moment of recognition, you are not validating the pain. You are honoring the energy it created. You are acknowledging the compression that led to your expansion. It is the ultimate act of integration. And then, immediately, you pivot. You consciously bring your awareness back to the feeling of expansion you just embodied. That silent, internal explosion of light. That feeling of effortless radiance. By doing this, you perform an act of quantum alchemy. You strip the memory of its emotional charge and you harvest its raw energy, pulling it from the past and into your present moment to amplify your light. You are no longer a victim of your history. You are powered by it. The second tool recalibrates your entire relationship with desire. It is called radiate, don't reach. For your entire life, you have been taught to chase, to strive, to reach for what you want. This is the law of a universe in compression. It is a model based on lack, but you are no longer in compression. A supernova does not reach for planets to illuminate. It simply shines, and reality arranges itself around its light. Your work now is to become that sun. Instead of chasing a goal, a new job, a relationship, a state of abundance, you will identify the core feeling of that desire fulfilled. What does it feel like to have it? Is it freedom? Is it security? Is it connection? Is it joy? Once you identify that feeling, your only job is to practice radiating that frequency from your core. For 5 minutes every single day, you sit and you generate that feeling within yourself, not as a hope for the future, but as a reality in the now. You let it fill every cell. You let it pour out of you into the quantum field with no agenda, no target. You are not trying to get anything. You are simply being it. This is the ultimate shift from force to power. Reaching is an act of force. Radiating is an act of pure power. The practical signs your comeback is coming are not just things that happen to you. They are the moments you consciously choose to radiate instead of reaching, and witness how reality begins to echo your frequency back to you. The third tool is for navigating the world outside. It is called disarming gravity wells. As you begin to radiate this new, high-frequency light, you will notice something fascinating. People, situations, and patterns from your past will try to pull you back into your old compression state. They are not malicious. They are simply gravity wells, pockets of dense, slow energy accustomed to your old signature. A friend who only knows how to connect with you through shared complaint. A family member who constantly reminds you of your past failures. A habit of self-doubt that feels familiar and safe. The old you would engage. You would fight, defend, explain, or get pulled in. This is a waste of your precious energy. The new instruction is this. Do not engage. Do not resist. Simply increase your own radiance. When you encounter a gravity well, you consciously turn up the brightness of your own inner light. You feel the expansion in your chest. You embody your new state of being. You become so light, so radiant that their gravitational pull has no purchase on you. You don't orbit them. They are left to orbit you or drift away entirely. You become too light to be pulled back down. Your radiance becomes your shield and your truth. What is the one story of hardship that you will stop feeding with your energy, starting today, now that you know it was simply fuel? This isn't just a collection of techniques. This is an integration framework for your new life. It is simple. In the morning, you ignite. You take a few moments to connect with that core feeling of expansion and set the intention to radiate. Throughout the day, you acknowledge and pivot. When memories arise, you thank them for the fuel. When you encounter gravity wells, you increase your radiance, and in the evening, you express gratitude, not for what you got or what happened. You express gratitude for the fuel itself, for the immense pressure that forged the diamond you have become. You honor the entire arc of your transformation. Morning, ignite and radiate. Day, acknowledge and pivot. Evening, gratitude for the fuel. This is the rhythm of the conscious radiator. This is how you stabilize your new frequency and make the comeback not a fleeting event but a permanent state of being. You have moved from someone who survived a collapse to the architect of a constant, magnificent expansion. You now understand the quantum comeback arc. You are no longer a passive observer of your life, hoping for a breakthrough. You are the architect of it. You have the tools to honor your past, not as a source of pain, but as the high-density fuel that powered your ignition. You have embodied the feeling of expansion, and you now know how to radiate that energy into existence, allowing reality to arrange itself around your new light. You have reclaimed your power, but your expansion is not a solo event. This is the final, most profound truth of this entire process. The light from your supernova, the unique energetic signature of your comeback, travels. It moves across the quantum field, interacting with everything and everyone it touches. A star does not ignite in a vacuum. It ignites within a galaxy, and its light changes the gravitational and energetic balance of the entire system. You are not just a supernova. You are a supernova becoming part of a constellation. Your personal comeback, your individual release of immense stored potential energy, inevitably triggers a collective one. The light you now radiate doesn't just illuminate your own path. It awakens other stars that were still in their compression phase. Your frequency acts as a resonant key, unlocking the potential in others who are on the verge of their own ignition. They feel your light, even if they don't know what it is. It gives them permission. It shows them the way. This is not a metaphor. It is physics. When the light of your new frequency, the energy of your comeback, meets the fundamental interconnectedness of reality, something extraordinary happens. This interconnectedness is what physicists call quantum entanglement. And when your new energy interacts with it, your thoughts, your feelings, your entire state of being doesn't just slowly shape your world. It instantly informs everything. You've mastered your personal supernova. But when your new light meets the interconnected quantum field, it creates an echo, a ripple effect called entanglement. And that is the key to conscious creation at a level you've never imagined. Subscribe and turn on all notifications. The next video, Quantum Entanglement Explained, Why Your New Energy Instantly Changes Your Reality, is the crucial next step. You won't want to miss how to wield the power you've just unlocked. Once you understand how your energy communicates with the universe instantaneously, we will move even deeper. We will explore synchronicity is simpler than you think. It's just reality, echoing your new frequency. You will learn to read the echoes of your own light as they bounce back to you, guiding your every move. This journey is just beginning. The collapse is over. The ignition is complete. The expansion is now your natural state. Remember this, always. Your comeback was never just for you. It was for all of us. Go now and shine.